Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well because I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so very much. Howdy, how are you today? This is the MFer podcast number 19. And for those of you counting at home, there's a few gaps in the week there in the chronology of the MFer podcast. If you were missing it, I didn't hear from you. But if you were missing it, I do apologize. And I'm here now. I'm live. We're going to talk some stuff. We're going to talk about a bunch of shit. Sorry I was late. Chrome just wouldn't let me. I always use Chrome to stream. And for whatever reason today, I log in there and it says your browser doesn't support GPU capability, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I had to log in to StreamYard on Brave. I know you don't care about any of this. I know it's boring to hear, but I had to do it. And that's why I'm late. I'm sorry. I try to be professional with my start times because I don't like sitting in a live chat and waiting for them to start. And as a dutiful YouTuber, I vow to you to almost never do that as often as I can avoid it, which is probably most of the time. I pledge that. Pledge that. Ruben Christopher Haynes, hail, with his MAGA hat on. We're going to talk about that for certain. For sure, we're going to get to some MAGA stuff. But Ruben says, Chrome is run by the man. Use Brave. That is currently what I'm using. I mean, yeah, I guess I could. I don't know. I don't really. It's probably a better decision. And Chrome is so clunky, but Brave isn't much better. Brave is slow and clunky too. I don't really like it. Hello, Sammy boy. Hail, my handsome brother. Oh, hail. Right back at you, Sammy boy. Right back at you, stud. It's good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Lisa is here. Hail, Lisa. Lisa's a hoot. I enjoy Lisa's chats. She is funny. Funny in the chat. Makes me chuckle. It was there for another epic MFer cocktail moment. MFer cocktail lounge moment with the great Pope Metallicus. That was fun. Huh? That was a fun show. Lisa was there heckling and making jokes and comments the whole time. I really loved that. I thought that was a lot of fun. So how y'all doing? It's Wednesday. Past 2 days, I have been Austin AF. Austin AF, my brothers and sisters. Last night, I went to a rock climbing gym. I've never done that before. It was super fun. If you've never done it, I recommend it. It was a blast. There's all these different routes up and big mats if you fall. And fall I did quite a few times. Once banging my shin pretty hard on one of those protrusions from the wall. But it was a really good workout. And it was fun. It was like being a kid. You know when you were a kid, you just climb a tree. You didn't even really think about it. You just did it. That's what I was. It's kind of reminded me of that. It was reminiscent of just being a kid, and then you're also getting a good workout in. It was pretty cool. And then today I woke up and did yoga. So I guess the rumors of my homosexuality are true. Yeah. Just kidding, but those are very Austin-y things to go do. Rock climb, yoga, go drink craft beer. Fucking liberals, I tell you, these progressives. Oh boy. The progressives in this city they seem to be ubiquitous. And I know anyone with a brain could have told me that. And everyone is not empathetic to my discovery of this fact. But golly gosh, man. And it's very similar to the vibe in LA. It's a very similar climate if politics is brought up. Although to Austin's credit, it does not come up nearly as much as it did when I was in Los Angeles, because that came up constantly and it was thrown at you and it was really annoying. Here it still comes up, but it's not as much. But when it does, it's just as draining. And it's like everyone you meet, they're all on the same mental team. I don't understand that. Don't people have just an instinct to disagree or be different. I do. Maybe that's why I'm such a powerful intellectual. I won't do it the status quo, man. I fight the system. You know what I'm saying? I rebel, bruh. But I just don't you get bored? Don't you get bored just agreeing with each other? Don't you want to disagree just to mix it up? I don't know. It makes dating difficult. Makes dating very difficult because all the girls around T are liberals, which is fine. I don't care, but they care if you're not, and that's the monkey in the wrench right there. The fly in the ointment, Hans. The monkey in the wrench. I'm still hopeful, but it's like everyone I meet, all these girls, they're all on the same page. They all just agree. It's really boring. It's really boring, and I would like to meet. I don't even want to meet. I don't need the girl to be conservative. It'd be cool. It'd be fucking hot if she was conservative. But open-minded, kinda. Just like willing to have a discussion, slightly based, slightly grounded. That'd be nice, encounter one of them. If you know any, you let me know. Send them my way, because I'm fucking desperate. No, I'm not really desperate. I've just kind of taken to lying. Just sort of lying. Or letting them think whatever they want to think without changing their mind. Just letting them believe I'm on their side. Oh, sure, I voted for Beto. Oh, of course I did. Of course I did that. Of course I wanted to turn this haven of red stateness into some blue dystopic shithole. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Let me look at the chat here for a minute. Juicy Fruit, hail Juicy Fruit, says rock climbing is one letter away from cock climbing. That's accurate. That's true. That's true. Kind of. 1, 2. Yeah, as he learned. Yeah. Yeah. No, I got it. It rhymes at least. There's a similar homonym there, or similar sound quality. So the jokes, they just write themselves. Rock cock means you're gay. I get it. Am I from California originally? No, I am not from California originally. I am from New Jersey originally. I lived there till I was 20. New York City till I was 25. Los Angeles till I was 35. 35? Did I move here when I was 2 years ago? Yeah, it did. I've had 2 birthdays here. So, yeah, Los Angeles, I was 35. And now Austin, Texas. And I just can't get enough punishment from the progressives. I just need more. Govern me harder, daddy. I don't know. You know what it is? I like all the things progressive cities offer. I like the fact that there's I have options for rock climbing gyms. Not that there's one. There's multiple. I can, contrast and compare them. I like that. I like that on my way to yoga today, I can get a really good smoothie from Juiceland. I like that. I don't like the hegemonist thinking, though we all have the same opinions bullshit. I don't like that. But the other things, the good food, the pretty girls in progressive cities. I guess there's pretty girls everywhere. You take the good with the bad, and what you get, the facts of life, or something, however that song goes. Hello, green-haired anti-liberal. Hail, hi, how's it going? Mid-workday live stream? Yes. I'm glad that I can help you get through work. I do think I need to embrace streaming, doing more content. I've been, existential crisis, if you've listened to this show, or Vigilante and Me show, or the Cocktail Lounge. I started doing all this to criticize content. Now I just find that boring. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. So what do I talk about? Everything? I don't know. I'm not political enough to have a political channel. I'm not smart enough to talk about everything. I don't know. It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum, folks. So I've been kind of reforming the ideas. I've had some ideas. I've had some kernels of some ideas that I think would be fun. Parodies. Fake commercials. I don't know. Things. I'm working on it. I'm working on it behind the scenes to see what the future of Foul Ball Productions is going to be. But in the meantime, I'm going to hang out with you lovely people and stream. Lisa says, yoga is not a monolith to libtards. Yoga is for higher spiritual intent. No, I agree. I was just being facetious. I was also, my chat. Any chance to jump on me for that. I think they would take it. And it does kind of, it looks a little bad, not bad, but it's just like, okay. No, but I think yoga is very healthy. And I generally can't get stretches like that, to loosen up like my lower back or a shoulder or something like that if I don't do yoga. So yoga's dope. That's why I went, obviously. Green-haired anti-liberal. I guess we need more meetups so we can meet more like-minded people in person. I'm sure someone lives close to you in this realm. That's true. Who does? It's not Papa Cotton. Someone lives like outside the Austin area. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There are like-minded people. I went to a meetup with for the YouTuber Chris Williamson, whom I really like, and lots of intellectuals there. It's just hard to find them in the wild. But it was a really good community of people. We had some very great conversations. You knew it was genuinely a safe space because they weren't going to, attack you or defame you for having the wrong opinion. Everybody was having a really complex conversation, and I loved it. It was very fun. It was very fun. Hail, brightest day. What is good? Yo. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Juicy fruit. I am a cat guy as well. Fucking A. And just got out of a 10-year relationship. Had a woman trade that... Wait. Just got out of a 10-year relationship. Had a woman trade that in... Trade that in? Wait, what? Had a woman trade that in the new age dating world? What the hell are you saying? Can you rewrite that? I am a cat guy as well and just got out of a 10-year relationship. Had a woman trade that in new age dating world. That doesn't make sense, Juicy Fruit. Either use some punctuation. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say. Am I stupid? I mean, yes. But am I dumb here? Thank you, Lisa. That speaks perfect content. That is genuinely kind of you. I appreciate that. That is really sweet. Appreciate you. Ruben's going to launch a political channel. Talk to text. Okay, cool. God. All right, this is the last thing, and then I'm going to get into some topics. What do you think of women in this new age of dating? I don't know. Casual sex is like getting coffee now. It's just so like this girl, and she's a nice girl. I was seeing her for a little while. I stopped seeing her because I just kind of realized I'm not that into it. She's super sweet. She didn't do anything wrong. I didn't either. But we were dating, and we went on 3 dates before we had sex. I took her out to dinner the first time, and then we went to this like club. I think it was Soho House. And then maybe like one other thing. And then on that third date, she came home and we banged. And she like said it, it wasn't that, wasn't too long. I was like, it was a week. Yeah, it's fine. I'm cool to wait a week, but the modern era, man, it's like if you don't bang on the first, second date, it's weird. It's like, why are we not already having sex? Because she's in her 20s and that's just the normal. That's just the norm. I don't know how you build a relationship on that, quite frankly. I don't know. And then I met a girl recently who I was really into, really smart. She was an engineer, but I'm not like a practicing Christian, so that was a turnoff for her. So she moved along, which I thought was respectable that she was upfront about it. At the rock climbing gym, ironically enough, last night it was singles night. I didn't know they did singles night at a rock climbing gym, but that's actually kind of a cool way to meet people, right? And if you want to meet a chick who's fit, like I do, that makes sense to do it at a place where people are fit. Like, oh, okay, I like that. But I didn't meet any girls there because I wasn't there for that, and it was happening in a separate area of the gym. So I just got yoked up, dog. I just went up there like a spider monkey, climbed that wall, killed the wall. So I don't know. I'm also not like actively like targeting like my wife either. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of on me as far as like how much of like scrutiny I'm putting into the women that I'm dating, So I don't know. It's a complex conversation and quite a long one. Hello, Kai, MFS. Ruben says casual sex is pointless. You need to love with passion. I don't know if it's pointless. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of an exaggeration. It definitely has a point. And it's fun. It is fun. I enjoy... I've had some good experiences, one-night stands and such like that. Short bursts that were fun. I don't regret them. They're great. But that's not all the time, I definitely would like a healthy relationship with a young lady, with a gal, and we could date for a while. Kai, I like to take things slow, but first date was pretty normal to get me at least a second, third base if there was mutual interest. Yeah, a little groping and stuff like that I think is pretty fun. making out. It's all exciting. It's just we are just a fast culture now. We're just overall the generalization. I just feel like we're a fast culture. I think we move quickly now. I mean, I hooked up with this girl one time. It was really uncomfortable. She was fucking gorgeous too. God damn it. She asked me to drive her home. I was like, yeah, all right. It was after an event. I was bartending. And she was like, "We might drive me home." I was like, yeah, sure. And I had no intention on hooking up with her, genuinely at all. And so I was tired. I was up really late the night before. We had a really long day, and then we had another event. I was beat. I was spent. And so I genuinely was not planning on hooking up with this girl, but she was so pretty. And so I drop her off, and we just like kind of hugged for like a second, and then she goes, "Do you want to come in and watch TV and cuddle or something like that?" And I was like, I mean, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, I don't. But I don't want to blow it with this girl. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely would like this to move forward. So I was like, all right. So we go inside. I think she makes me a drink. And then I go to the bathroom, and I go into her bedroom, and she's in bed almost naked. And I was like, that's not what I think of as cuddling. And the speed from casually dropping her off to her being naked in bed made me extremely uncomfortable. There wasn't an organic build. I was not comfortable with her yet. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with her, so I wasn't ready to bang her. But I kind of just went along with it, and very mixed results. Not my best work, And it didn't really go anywhere after that. We were supposed to hang out another day, and she kind of blew me off, and it was really uncomfortable. And so, that was just weird. That was just a weird experience I had with a girl. And I was like, why the rush? What's the rush? Do we have to hook up this second? Can we make out for a little while, or like you build into this, or hang? I don't know. Like, why do we have to fuck now, right now? It just seems too quick. It was like, oh, you're a fucking stranger. I don't know you at all. It's really weird. Kai says women assume all guys are dumb barbarians who just want sex. I think that had something to do with it. I really genuinely do, because it was so uncomfortably fast. I heard Andrew Santino describe a similar story. He's a comedian, and the girl was beautiful too. I don't know. Maybe that's like a beautiful girl move. I don't know. I think that's too. I think you need to fucking slow down. You got to slow down a little bit. Lisa says, "Oh, the aggressive female sucks just as bad as the aggressive male." Yeah, I just, even though it's obviously not real passion, I do want some level of connection to you, to feel it while we're doing it. Weird experience. But, yeah. Anyway, all right, let's talk some stories. Let's talk, you know what, Ruben? Go tell it on Instagram. Shut up. All right, I love you, buddy. All right, let's talk some news stories. Well, we could start with the Donald. The Donald has announced his run for presidency in 2024. Big news, surprising news, not to anybody. It's interesting. I don't think he has the juice that he used to have. The Donald doesn't. I think, this time last year, he probably had more influence than he does right now. Whatever the state of the elections genuinely is, and Lord knows on YouTube, I would never question their validity. You know that. I would never even think it. Okay, almighty algorithm? Do you understand sarcasm? I hope not. But regardless, a lot of Trump's endorsements didn't win. And the infighting with DeSantis looks really bad in general. It makes it look like the right is not all on the same page. There was a good movement there for a little while where like the MAGA Republicans were kind of like ousting the establishment Republicans, which I thought was pretty tight, pretty cool. I like that. Based, felt like a good movement. But I don't know. It's starting to feel... I feel like there's a lot of cracks are showing right now. And I'm not entirely convinced that I'm on board. I don't want to abandon ship. I mean, I'll probably vote for whatever Republican they put in office. I can't imagine supporting the state of the Democratic Party right now. Like I don't know what they could possibly do to win me back at this point, man. I really don't know. Sammy Boys says trash talking DeSantis didn't help Trump's juice. No, that was a bad move, man. That was a bad move because DeSantis is probably the darling of the Republicans for very good reason. You know, he's based. He did a good job through the COVID. Can you say COVID yet on this fucking platform? God damn it, YouTube. Through all that shit. And, just generally seems like a good dude. He's military, right? He's former military. Seems like he runs his state well. Seems like people are really happy with it. Seems like a haven. And I know that he's been teasing a presidential run. And quite frankly, I don't think he should. I think he should stay in Florida and keep fucking killing it in Florida. But, he's got his own ambitions, his own political ambitions. Also, I heard that he was fundraising with like George W. Bush or something like that. I didn't like the sound of that. That made me uncomfortable. But I still think just for the sake of the party and the sake of optics, to use a lefty-ish term, there should be a more unified front, and they should all be like, no, we're all good. Everything's cool. Even if it's not like facing out, it should be, we're all in this together, bro. Fight the evil commie Dems. Even though the second we have a Republican majority, it'll just be some stupid bullshit Republican stuff. But for now, we need to fight back and take it, and then subversively install a libertarian government that'll pick apart all this oligarchy that exists. That's my fantasy. That's my dream. However, what isn't a dream, what is a reality, is Donald announced his presidency, his run for presidency. Ruben says, "Do not fall for the MSM narrative." I'm definitely not. Kai says, "Bro, Trump is like Smaug right now. When he comes out that mountain, he's gonna burn shit down. Lol. Also, Trump had nothing to do with the Republican campaign planning. That was McConnell." I don't know. It feels different. I don't know. It just feels like a change in the wind, man. I think 2020, had that gone over like it should have, I'd be singing a different tune. But now, another 2 years, and then, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Juicy says he's only 44, I assume about DeSantis, so plenty of time. Yeah, agreed. See the big picture. But anyway, I have some of his announcement, and I kind of wanted to play it because Trump fucking cracks me up. He really does. Okay. And also like the music. I'm proud to be in. He just loves theater. All right.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of Melania, myself, and our entire family, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a very special occasion at a very special place. You and all of those watching are the
watching. I love him. I miss him. Just watching this, though, I do enjoy me some Trump. I think Trump is fucking hilarious. And I always like to say in equal parts intentional and unintentional. Just his mannerisms I find funny. I just think he's such a character. And then when he does, drop some jokes, he's pretty funny. So I just kind of want to hear a little bit of this speech and then, move on.
Heart and soul of this incredible movement.
This incredible movement
in the history of the world.
Don't you just get a kick out of the world? Just of the world. Like, what does that indicate? What does that hand movement suggest? What is that? Is that the whole world? Is that what he's trying to do? But he does that all the time. But he just fucking cracks me up, dude. Oh, he's just, I just find him to be just so funny, just such a character.
It's very simple.
It's very simple. Very simple.
There's never been anything.
Wait, hold on. That kind of, his whole thing is make America great again. So are we just not as great as we used to be? That seems like a weird thing to say, but I don't look, far be it from me to disagree with the Donald or say anything critical. I would never imagine, because I am a tribalist. All right.
Like it.
Like it.
this great movement of ours. Never been anything like it, and perhaps there will never be anything like it again. There's
Never gonna be, never. It's like Endgame. It's much like the Avengers, how that took years to build. And that'll never happen again. You're never gonna see anything like me. It's never gonna exist in the face of this earth. I wish I had Trump's confidence. My God. God, I wish I could talk about myself the way he does, man. He's the best. Does anyone know when he announces?
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens.
My fellow
America's comeback starts right now.
Ah, there we go. Thank you. 2108. Thank you, comment section on YouTube. Because this is a lot of speech. I don't want to listen to the whole thing, even though he is so funny. All right, let's go from the announcement.
Florida, I really love it. In order to make America great and glorious again,
Glorious.
I'm tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
That doesn't really feel... It didn't really feel all that big of a deal. That smile, it was even kind of like a kind of a fake smile. A little, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't know. Am I reading into this too much? I'm just not. Like I said, I'm just not convinced as much as I had been. But I'm buying into the mainstream media narrative, right, Ruben? Right, Ruben? People said low energy. I can't disagree with them. This whole thing is being televised. Do you all really need to be filming it? The entire event is being filmed forever. Why do you need your version of it? Your shittier, poorly framed, shaky version. It's not like this is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Oh, shut up, Ruben. No, I'm not. It's called thinking for myself, big guy. Thank you. You're the best. You're the greatest. Put your phones down, you fucking boomers.
Safety. They wanted security. And they understood the border better than anybody else.
Ooh, speaking of the border, anybody hear that Greg Abbott is invoking military powers to stop the flood of immigrants? I thought that was pretty interesting. He's going to use the National Guard or something like that. He declared it like an invasion. Like Texas is being invaded. And he's going to set up military checkpoints and stuff like that around the border. Yo, that's an aggressive move. I support it, by the way. I think it's a great move. But damn, I feel like there's going to be some backlash on that. Green-haired anti-liberal. He kept it really tame the entire speech. I think he's being more calculating for now rather than a bull in a china shop. It does seem toned down. So whether that's by design or by design or not, it's definitely the reality. So I don't know why. I don't know if he's choosing that or if it's just what it is. Static. I think the low energy is appropriate for this. He's going to have to keep it chill to convince independents. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of curious, but like I said, I'm not entirely convinced. I'm open to being convinced. I don't want an infighting with the Republican Party. I mean, eventually there will just be one candidate, but I don't want if the Republican Party decides that Trump's not the guy and they want to run DeSantis, I feel like Trump would run independent, and then that would just ruin any chances the right would win. I think if the Republicans are smart, they will just go with Trump no matter what. Just because he's not going anywhere. He's still got a populist kind of appeal. I don't know if he'll win, but I think that would be the move. And if that doesn't work, DeSantis in 4 years. It's a curious one. It's a curious one. Independents and suburban housewives, really. Yeah, that's not a bad point there. Not a bad point. Let's just scroll a little bit more. Scroll.
Inflation destroying your family and your life. This campaign will be for you.
See, that's what Trump is good at. He doesn't talk in platitudes. I mean, okay. He doesn't. He's just not typical. He just talked about inflation destroying your life. That is the reality for a lot of people. Inflation is destroying a lot of people's lives. I work at a place. I won't say where. But I work at a place, and we had like a video conference that the whole company was invited to partake in. And one of the things that they said was that this particular product that we sell is inflation proof. It's actually something that kind of goes up in recessions and stuff like that. And also, any of the costs we incur, we won't have to translate to the customer until years down the line, which would just kind of be in line with natural price increase. But I guess inflation's gotten so bad, we actually just went and raised our prices anyway, like last week. And I was really surprised to see that. I thought we were going to hold fast, but we didn't. So, man, it's affecting everybody. It's affecting absolutely everybody. It's not going anywhere. The housing market's a nightmare. I mean, the debt, the bank, the whole thing is a complete shit show. And we had, the best economy in 40 years under this guy? So, I mean, obviously, whatever he was doing, it was working. Whether it was a coincidence or he was actually, making good policy, he understands economics and he understands the way the market works, and he was doing a good job. Now we're in the fucking shit. I heard something that was like, worst inflation in like 40 or 50 years. That's what I heard. So I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I heard. So transport prices affect everything. Absolutely. Gas does seem to be going back down in Texas. I don't know if that's the nation over, but in Texas, where I live in Austin, I see a few places where it's under $3 a gallon again, which is great. That's a good thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me because I drive my little beefed up, go-kart, my smart car. It doesn't use much gas. The gas price doesn't really affect my life as much. But it affects you in the cost of transport, as Lisa brings up. So diesel is still way expensive. Yeah, that's a great point. Great point, Lisa. Great point. All right, just a little bit more Trump, and then we'll move on.
Help is on the way. Joe Biden has abolished America's borders. We are going to
Good
restore
point.
and secure America's borders just like we had them before. Best ever. We built the wall. And now we will add to it. Now, we built the wall, we completed the wall, and then we said, let's do more, and we did a lot more. And as we were doing it, we had an election that came up. And when they came in, they had 3 more weeks to complete the additions to the wall, which would have been great. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. And that's when I realized that they actually want to have this disaster known as open borders. Hard to believe, isn't it? But
He does seem restrained, which actually I kind of like. It's less of a circus. But his bombastic personality, I think, was what made the biggest impact with him. I kind of like this version of Trump. I find it entertaining. Just a little bit more statesmanly, that thing that they said he didn't do well. I kind of like it. He's still shooting from the hip a little bit, but it does seem more grounded. I don't know. We will see. I will follow the Trump run for presidency closely. I'm very curious about that. Like I said, I'm probably going to vote for whatever Republican they throw at me. Unless it's like Mitch McConnell or something like that. That would suck. I would just go straight up independent. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Lisa says he has 2 years of this before the election. Conserving energy. Could be. Also could be getting older. He's approaching 80. Was he 76 or something like that? He's getting up there, dude. My dad is almost 70. I could not imagine him having the energy to run for president. I don't see that happening. I don't think he could pull that off. So, I don't know. We'll see. There is an article from the New York Post that I wanted to share with you that's related to this because it's part of the conversation. Now, this is kind of what I'm talking about, where I don't know if he's got the same juice that he used to have. I don't know if he has the same support that he did. GOP mega donors ditched Donald Trump's 2024 White House run. Washington, more and more big money bundlers. Big money bundlers is a funny word. That sounds like some kind of a slam. You're a big money bundler. Are abandoning former president's bid to return to the White House in 2024 in favor of GOP rising stars like DeSantis. Two New York-based billionaires, metal mogul Andy Sabin and private equity CEO Steven Schwartzman, have each spoken out against the 76-year-old Trump in recent days. I'm not going to give Trump a fucking nickel, Sabin told CNBC ahead of the 45th president's campaign launch at Mar-a-Lago on Tuesday. He contributed $120,000 to Trump's unsuccessful 2020 re-election, blamed the former president for the GOP's underwhelming performance in last week's midterm elections, in which Democrats kept control of the Senate and Republicans were on track to record a bare majority in the House. At the end of the day, people stayed away because of Trump, Sabin said. He endorsed candidates who were not necessarily qualified unless they had said, "I love you, Donald." Now, he has been accused of that in the past, and I have seen evidence that, to me, would support he does kind of like when people say, "You're right, sir." He often is right, but that's not always the healthiest way to move forward. Kai disagrees. Says, my grandpa is 80 and he climbs the large hill behind his house almost every day. Well, your grandpa should run for president, Kai. I'd vote for him. I would vote for your president. I mean, your grandfather for president. Yeah. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about this anymore, but it does seem like maybe not quite the same juice. We'll see. We will see. Like I said, most likely has my support, but I don't know. I don't know. Ruben thinks I'm brainwashed by the liberal media. I disagree. But interesting. Anyway, so have you guys been paying attention to this FTX story? That Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever the hell his name is? This story, dude, has got legs. This is one of the biggest stories of the year, and I think it should be focused on more than it is. It's a really nefarious, kind of weird, very American story. So what I understand of it is these guys had this giant crypto exchange, FTX, in which they were basically doing what every other bank does. They take your money that represents, a value, and then we're investing it and gambling with it, essentially. And the difference with a regulated bank versus this exchange is that, you're insured. Also, the things that they're investing in generally tend to have a little bit more actual equity. They used to have you have a little more actual value. Not to say that banks aren't corrupt. They are probably the most corrupt part of American finances. But, even the mortgage bundling scandal of 2008 or whenever that was, at least they were mortgages. You know what I mean? At least they were actual things that have a tangible value. What this guy was investing in is tokens, like somewhere adjacent to NFTs, somewhere in the Bitcoin realm, but essentially made up. As I understand, they'd have as much value as if I had a foul ball dollar. And I'm just like, hey, it's valuable. And it's like, all right, I mean, it isn't. But if I had 27 billion of your dollars to prop it up, well, it would certainly seem a lot more valuable than it actually is. So I understand that. So that's basically what he did. Then one of his competitors tweeted, this Chinese guy, who I'm not sure, I can't think of it, but he owns Binance, tweeted that he's dumping all of his shares or taking out all his coin or taking out all his money out of FTX, something like that effect, because he doubted its validity. He doubted the validity of the company. And then there was what was essentially a bank run. People are like, what? This guy doesn't think this company's solvent? Well, I'm getting my money the fuck out of there. And then it turns out that the money wasn't there. A lot of people tried to get their money out of this exchange and could not. And then it turns out that all that money is sort of gone. And that there was only like $1 billion in capital when there should have been, multiple billions. Which is really a fascinating story in and of itself. SBF, I guess that guy, he is nowhere to be found. His company operates in the Bahamas, which I understand isn't quite as nefarious as it sounds. I think it's because crypto exchanges aren't quite legal here yet or something to that effect. So it's almost like that's where he had to do it. But also, he's kind of outside of jurisdiction of all of our regulatory agencies. And then the plot thickens further. It's not just that. Turns out that this guy also was investing as a huge political donor to the Democratic Party. Actually, the second largest donor to the Democratic Party behind George Soros. So if you're in the company of George Soros, got to start questioning some of your intentions and motives. And then also, like, I think his parents are like Stanford graduates or Stanford alum or something like that. Some connection with like Stanford and the big kind of college industry. And all this like really weird like money laundering kind of things that are somehow tied to like, because it's like then the WEF, like when this guy was on the rise, the WEF was really instrumental in pushing him. There's actually this like laughably bad video where they're basically saying this guy's a billionaire, but he's a good billionaire. He's just gonna give this money away, and that's why he needs to get rich so that he can give it away. That's why he's acquiring as much wealth as he can to give it away. And you're like, yeah, I just feel like probably not. And they were things related to COVID, things related to Ukraine. And there's a lot of speculation. I don't know how much of it's substantiated, but there's a lot of speculation that it's a lot of money laundering. A lot of it coming right back to the big old D party. I don't know, but it is a really compelling story to look into and to follow and see where it develops, because it was fucking... I mean, do you guys remember crypto like a year ago? How big it was? It was on everyone's, the Wall Street Journal says it's going to go to $100,000 a coin, and everyone's trading in it and getting all excited. And now it's crashed, and all these people lost billions right in the middle of this huge like inflation thing that's like completely unrelated and still happens at the same time. And then all this nefarious stuff where it's involved with the Democratic Party and Ukraine and COVID and all these things. It's pretty friggin' wild. I would say keep an eye on it. I watched a clip from the Lotus Eaters podcast, which is, what's that, Sargon of Assad? I can't think of his actual name. But that's like his YouTube channel and his podcast, his show. They were talking about it. Very sharp over there. They knew exactly what was going on. It's where I got a lot of this information. But, yo, keep your eyes open on that one, because that is wild. That is a wild story. Hail, Newbomb Turk. What is up, dog? Lisa, hail, says, always tip your bartender. Thank you, madam. Just sold my restaurant. Thank you, COVID-19. That sucks. That sucks, Lisa. I didn't know that you were... in the service industry or a restaurant owner. That's why we get along. We're the same kind of folk. But that sucks, man. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I hope you got some good money for it. I hope you didn't. I hope it wasn't a huge loss for you. That's too bad. I'm disappointed to hear that. That sucks. But thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, you're rad. Sorry, very sorry. Lisa, I used to buy video game tokens at the arcade. Crypto seemed to be the same. Never got into crypto. New Bomb says crypto is volatile. Might as well gamble in Vegas. Sargon of Akkad, yes. Carl Benjamin, that's it. Thank you, Inferior. I couldn't think of his name. Carl Benjamin, yes. Yeah, New Bomb, you're not wrong, but that's because that's what it became. The idea behind crypto, I think, is a noble one and a powerful one and a strong one, because it can't... Like, it's not, the currency can't be hacked. It can't be subject to government inflation. Like, you can't just print more of it. It's impossible. There's like, 23 million, and that's it. And they need to be mined, and eventually they will all be mined, and then that'll be that. And there will be no more crypto, and the value will be the value, and that's it. So it's supposed to be decentralized. But what happened with all these exchanges is it essentially just became gambling like any other stock market. Any other financial endeavor. It was just, people bought crypto, but really they didn't. They gave this exchange money, and then that exchange bought crypto in your name, but you didn't have crypto. They did. And then they just used your money to do these things like invest in, made up money tokens and donations to the Democratic Party. But hey, APM, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Hail. But the concept of crypto, Bitcoin especially, I think is a good one and should survive this, hopefully, and could potentially very much still be a good thing. It's just the problem is centralization, power, corruption. Those are the issues. And if you allow crypto to exist in a typical banking exchange, it's just going to be the same shit that always happens. Crypto can't be regulated, and I think they can kind of track you a little bit with like the they can track your transactions. They can like get down through the code or the algorithm or something like that and find out what you're doing. But I don't know. I still believe in the concept. I think it's a good idea. I'm certainly not the most knowledgeable person in the world on crypto, but I do think it's a good thing. I think it should stick around because it's a way to be financially free out from a system that doesn't really give a shit about you, that will, raise interest rates, destroy the housing market, and then buy up huge chunks of it. You know what I mean? You'll own nothing and you'll be happy kind of people. That's where I have a huge issue with the financial industry. And I think Bitcoin still offers the potential to free us from that, if that's even possible. But I don't know. But I do understand people's skepticism. I think that's by design. I think that's the point. New Bomb Turk, service industry folk are a different breed. I've done both restaurant and bar work. This is true. Mostly drunks as well. Mostly alcoholics. APM, I'm so fucking lucky I sold my crypto a while ago or I'd be in trouble. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I still bought in when it was lower than it is now. So even if I had stuck around the entire time, I still would have lost money. Because I bought it at like 9,000 or something like that. But then I'm like an idiot. I sold it like 14 because I was like, wow, nice, tidy little profit. And then it went up to like 60,000. I was like, you asshole. You could have totally used that money, especially when I moved across the country. You incur a lot of costs doing that. I could have absolutely used some of that crypto cash. But hey, you win some, you lose some. I certainly didn't go from $21 billion of value to less than $1 billion, and I'm on the run from law enforcement in the Bahamas. Certainly not in that situation, so could be worse. Could be much worse. I don't know if you ever heard that guy speak, Sam SBF. Soy. Also a vegan. Also that girl that's his girlfriend. Does that girl have one redeeming attractive quality? I don't even mean physically. She is not what you'd call a looker at all. And I was even trying to be generous, and I was like, ooh, no. But when she speaks, oh my God. Let me just see if I can't find a clip of this girl. Oh my God. She is an idiot. And I don't see a single. I don't get it. I don't understand. Is there a video of this chick? What is her name? Caroline Ellison. This guy's worth $27 billion, and this is who he decides to date. Someone make sense of this for me. I don't get it. All right.
Could this story get any weirder? FT, the luxury.
Do we have any? I don't know this. It's just some guy's video. This is the girl in question. This is Caroline Ellison. This is this billionaire's girlfriend, worth $27 billion. That's his girlfriend. Okay. All right. Maybe she has redeeming qualities I don't see in her face. When you see this woman speak, you will not come to that conclusion. I don't feel. All right, this is just some guy talking about it, but I'm going to find video of this girl. Here we go. No, this isn't her. Damn it, stop using... all these people using her thumbnail. Is this it? Great. Okay, cool. Now I finally have some video of her talking. Maybe it's his illegitimate daughter. Conspiracy theory. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so this is her speaking.
The whole summer, for me, a lot of it was just about sort of, readjusting my expectations and being open to whatever happened. I think like every week or so, something like weirder than the previous week would happen. And I was like, okay, I just like mentally, adjusted myself to, okay, we're farming comp, and then it's like, oh, now we're farming these things that are like foods, and then now we're farming these like whatever weird like meta food things. I don't know.
Oh my God, dude. That woman was a CEO. I think she still is a CEO. And that's the girl. That's the prize companion to this guy worth $27 billion. Do you get that? I don't see the connection. I remember just like people were like beating up on her looks. I'm like, let me take a look, Sometimes just weird girls are just kind of not everyone's cup of tea, and you're like, oh no, there's nothing there. And then you hear her speak, and you're like, oh my God, you ran a company? I know I say like a lot, but yeah, God damn, like, oof, brutes. Kai, her human suit is a little loose. Yeah, I don't know. And the other thing, that SBF guy was lauded for being incredibly slick when he would present things. He was wowing all these investment people, big money people, duped them all. And so I guess his communication is his strength, his strong point. And that's who he decides to partner himself up with. That girl should work at Starbucks and also would be the Starbucks employee no one likes. She's incompetent. Like, how on earth did that girl, I don't know. Maybe she's good at splits. You can't be that good. Unless she gives you the type of blowjob that sucks your soul out, when you just go blind with ecstasy, I can't possibly imagine what you'd see. And I am obviously, I'm assuming here. I have no way of knowing. I don't think that's the case, though. I don't think that's the case. It just does not seem. But then, you never know. You never know. Surprising things have happened. But yeah, I don't know. Fucking crazy, man. This story is really worth a deep dive. There's a lot of really good videos and stories on it. I just keep an eye on it too. It's a big one, and also attached to our current political system. Financial avarice and tyranny. It's a lot, and it just keeps going and unraveling. It's a pretty interesting one. I would say definitely do not lose sight of this story. I think there's going to be a lot of dirty laundry in this story, and not just that CEO. I think it's connected to the whole thing. I think it's like a point, like in a machine where like this has got a big part in everything that's been going on for the past 2-3 years. I think this is right there in the middle. Like I said, I'm really just using my own intuition. I'm not that knowledgeable about this shit, but that's just that's my impression. With all the Democratic donor stuff and the him disappearing and the Ukraine and COVID, WEF, all the parts are there, man. All the pieces are there. And it's kind of slowly forming of like it's coming into focus. So I don't know. I think if you want to stay informed, I'd keep an eye on that one. 8 p.m. When does that actually happen? Very much doubt it. Yeah, no. It's happened one time in my life. Once. I've gotten one lady who serviced me in such spectacular regard, and I was much younger. So, yeah, it's rare. It's fucking rare. But maybe that's it. It's so rare, it could be the quality she possesses. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. Welcome to Sin and Corruption. Exactly. Awesome one. Hail, by the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't have too much time today, so I will have to wrap up relatively soon, but not just yet. I'm not leaving you just yet. Did you guys hear about this one? This is like a story that's going around today. I don't know if this is something that I missed or is just newly revealed, but it's about Brendan Fraser, whom I think is kind of got that sort of Keanu treatment right now, where he's just universally beloved and everybody's happy he's around and they love his return, his comeback. He's super, just kind of a darling sort of fellow. It says Brendan Fraser declares he will not participate in next year's Golden Globes after alleging he was groped in 2003 by ex-Hollywood Foreign Press Association president My mother didn't raise a hypocrite, he says. The 53-year-old actor announced he will not attend the Golden Globes. He alleged 4 years ago his career withered on the vine after he was groped by Philip Burke. I don't know who Philip Burke is, but he used to be the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. He claims he brought the matter to the Hollywood Foreign Press at the time, prompting an internal investigation that dismissed Burke's alleged sexual misconduct as a joke. Burke, 89, was ejected from the Hollywood Foreign Press last year after emailing members an article calling BLM a racist hate group. Oh, wow. Kind of puts me in a conundrum here. I agree with his politics. I don't agree with his sexual assault actions. Yeah, that'll do it, by the way. Calling BLM a racist hate group in this modern era inside the entertainment industry. You are gone, buddy. Hope your bus pass is up to date because you are hightailing it out of there. Now, in a new interview with GQ, Frasier declared he will not participate in the Golden Globes in January. I have more history with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association than I have respect for Hollywood Foreign Press Association, said the actor. He did continue to attend the Golden. He did continue after 2003, sitting in the audience as the ceremony as recently as 2010, when Burke was president. That's a weird. That's kind of strange. He's making this big stand about it, but 7 years, after it, while Burke was still president, and 7 years after the event, he's still there. If he was just a notable absentee all that time, and now it's just coming to light, that it had happened. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my friend. More content to come, by the way, folks. I know I have not been. I don't feel I've been. Static 2020 gifted it. Oh, you're the man. You are the man, Static 2020. There will be more member content and stuff coming in the future. I promise. I know I've said that in the past, but I'm going to do better. I genuinely am. I'm going to provide more for you guys because I love you and I have a lot of fun doing this with you. So I want to provide value from you, for my members, for everybody. Lisa says, I think Frasier's career went to crap after that groping allegation, so it must be true. Could be. Oh, I'm not saying the allegation's not true. I just think it's weird to say I'm not a hypocrite and then you're shown being hypocritical in the past. I think that's a little strange. But look, I think it's shitty, especially if like someone did that. You went to the Hollywood, you went to like the powers that be, and they said it was a joke, no big deal, NBD. And then you're kind of like, well, that's sort of fucked up. Now, look, none of us were there. It could have been a joke. I have had men grab my genitals in a comical fashion. It has happened. And sometimes it actually is kind of funny. So I don't know. I don't know that he has a relationship with a man like that at that age. I can't imagine they were like bros, like they were buddy pals, where that would be their relationship. But could you imagine if, I guess it would be tough, but if he did that to a woman, and it came out that it was just a joke, could you imagine the sonic boom that would be the collective reeing of the internet and feminists collectively? It would darken the sky. Clouds would boom out of the way like you were doing an atomic bomb. It would be bad. I don't feel it's going to quite get that coverage. And I doubt it, dude. If he was genuinely joking, what kind of a guy would be like, my feelings were hurt? It's like, all right, man, you could square it with him right there. Be like, hey, dude, I know you're joking, but don't do that. That's not cool. You don't need to go to like the powers and and I'm sure he'd be like, oh shit, my bad. Brendan's a big dude. He's a big guy. Even if you're that powerful, you don't want your ass kicked. Just man to man, that's intimidating. I bet it wasn't a joke. I bet it was. I was groped relatively recently by a homosexual fellow. He was kind of drunk, and he grabbed my ass, and it's just kind of I pushed him away off it, because that's fucking gross. Don't touch me. But it's not that uncommon. That's happened to me quite a few times. It's just sort of is one of these realities. I'm not saying that means you should put up with it or people should, you make your own decisions on what the lines are with you. I just know what's happened with me. I don't like it. That's why I pushed him off. It does feel very violating. Don't touch me if I didn't let you, motherfucker. But like, I've chosen to always just deal with it man to man in that moment. It would have to be extraordinarily violating for me to take it to a higher power. But if the guy's super powerful and then you're like, I don't want to get into it with this guy, let me just go, throw this up the flagpole. And then they're like, yeah, no, it's just a joke. It's just a joke when he molested you. He's just kidding. Just a little, ribbon, little sarcastic humor. I think that would suck. That would really suck, because then maybe that is why he got blackballed from Hollywood. Maybe that is why he got kicked out. I don't know, but that would be unfortunate. That would really suck, and then that would make you feel even more violated and then powerless. Yeah, that's a rough one. I don't really know. I'm speculating purely because I wasn't there. APM says, people make such a big deal about this stuff. I've been grabbed so many times I can't count. Couldn't really give a shit, although, of course, it's better to not experience it. Yeah, people shouldn't do it. And it's not cool. It's not cool to, because you know when you're supposed to, and you know when you're allowed to and you're not. If you just violate someone, I think that is, I understand the criminal element to that, and I do understand like why it's wrong. Like I said, I'm not going to press charges or do it, because I would just deal with it myself. If I really thought you crossed the line in a way that needed to be dealt with, I would just, get a little crazy in your face, bruh. What you doing? You want to get fucked up, dog? But then again, if you're a meeker person, or if you're intimidated, or that's your, I understand. You shouldn't do that. Don't touch people when they don't let you touch them. It's gross, especially like on their sensitive bits. I had this TSA agent one time. This dude, he's like a kind of a big fat guy, and he was patting me down, and I got a weird feeling when he started to pat, and he patted like the pocket in my hoodie, and he kept his hand there for too long and was rubbing me, and I knocked it off. Like I hit, because I knew what he was doing. And it was really fucking creepy. And it pissed me off. And I was really mad, like genuinely upset about it. And I truly felt violated by that guy. And that carried with me for a long time. And there was kind of like a little like PTSD that it was following it with me. I felt creeped out and angry. So I do understand the other side of that. I don't think it's nothing. Especially if there's a power thing there. It's like, if someone holds power over you, it's tougher. Like if I punched out that TSA agent, I'd go to jail, go to prison. But then he did that. So that's where it does hurt. There is a frustration there. Gropers, #1 career choice, TSA. Lol. Yeah. That guy definitely did it. So it's like, I do understand. I do think there's something there. It's something to it. I don't think all the Me Too stuff was all that. I think there are power dynamics, but there's also certain things like, well, you just made a decision you regret. That's not the same thing. You could have said no and gone back to being a waitress, and you didn't want to do that, so live with your decisions. But yeah, no, there's legitimate things here. So anyway, all that aside, like I said, I don't know. I would tend to believe, based on my experience, it probably wasn't a joke. I would think most likely it was a sexual advance, or maybe him just alpha mailing him and just taking a little bit of his manhood. That happened with what's his name? Terry Crews. Is there more alpha male in Hollywood? That guy, played college defensive end? He's a fucking giant human being, very shredded and masculine. And someone did that. Wasn't it like in front of his wife too? Like grabbed his dick? These might be misinterpreted jokes, but I doubt it. I think there's some kind of emasculation there, or some kind of aggression. I don't know. What I do know is that the hour is growing late, and your boy Foul Ball, your boy Maddie's got to go to work. Gotta go, look. City of Austin is not going to serve itself whiskey. I need to do that. Okay, the City of Austin actually probably most likely will serve itself whiskey. But I can also facilitate in that process, and it's a necessary one that is needed, okay? I provide a vital service. I am essential. I remembered what the buzzword was. I'm essential. Even though that was not the case in COVID, I still think of myself as essential. I'm essential. I appreciate you all watching this episode of the MFer podcast live show, which I probably will do. I probably won't do it when I have a guest because I like the one-on-one with a guest, but I really like the one-on-one with all of you. It's super fun. It's a lot easier to do this with a live chat. It's very weird to do it by yourself for an hour pre-recorded. So I think moving forward, this will be live when it's not a guest, which is fun. You had fun. Thank you very much, Lisa. I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. And also, guys, don't forget MFer Cocktail Lounge this Friday night. As always, following up Friday Night Tights. Might be a short one because a buddy of mine is having a concert and he invited me to it, and I want to be supportive. So I might end it early to go hang with my pal. Kai MFS, thank you for sharing and hanging out, man. Fucking A, dude. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. You are the shit. You are the shit. Still rocking that mohawk, too, which I respect, my friend. Is it soy whiskey? No, it's made of corn, okay? All right? You can't even make whiskey out of soy, okay? So see, it shows what you know. Think you're funny? Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for hanging out with you. I thought we were buddies. You are my buddies, E. Clay Thomason. But, you know, sometimes you just got to you got to help a friend. You got to support a friend in their endeavor. You know, like we support Young Rippa with his comic book, you know. I think it's a terrible analogy, but you get it. You understand what I'm trying to do here, folks. Soy whiskey is called Siski. That's pretty funny. That's a good one. Yes, enjoy the eggnog. I shall. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys this Friday night. MFer Cocktail Lounge. Be there or be somewhere else that isn't as much fun. But it won't be as much fun as the MFer Cocktail Lounge. No, it won't. All right, y'all. You have a good day. Be well. Keep up on that FTX show story. It's pretty wild. Deuces.